we are going through some massive planetary stuff right now. Okay. Some of the most, I want to say, eccentric and beautiful and amazing and expansive and out of this world stuff that, apparently even the astrologers did not foresee. Okay. So that's pretty amazing. Now, the effects of that on people are different depending on their frequency, their levels of awareness. Um, their levels of awareness are what determine their frequencies. Okay. And we're moving into a time, according to everything I've heard, we're moving into a time very quickly, okay, where frequency is going to become the language. Okay. And I have always believed that frequency had to do with my being a telepath. Okay. Because I don't think that everybody should be a telepath for the simple reason that people are not nice. Okay, they're just not, and this is how psychic attack got started and all that other stuff was people took what little power they had and then they used it to hurt other people and stuff like that. And I was like, telepathy is a big thing. If you really want to use it for evil purposes, I don't want to be around. I don't want to see it.
Mm.
And I don't know about you guys, but back in the day, that's when Sylvan mind control was coming out and all these other things on transcendental meditation. All that stuff was happening during that period. Do you guys remember?
I did transcendental meditation. I did. Mhm.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Yep.
Yeah, I still know my mantra and never told anybody my
B, do
mantra.
you remember?
A little bit.
Okay. So transcendental meditation, I never did transcendental meditation, but I am a transcendent being. And so I know what transcendent is. The course they taught, I have no idea what that was, other than, helping people hopefully learn how to do some meditation.
Basically, they assigned you a mantra, and you just basically were quiet and breathed and just repeated that mantra in your mind over and over again. That was the basics that I got out of it.
And that's what many people start with meditation. Okay, not just them, but all these other people too. The teachers I know, it's about the breathing, it's about the counting, it's about this. I started with self-hypnosis. Okay. Well, I'm not going to say that by itself. There was a conglomeration of things. But once I read about self-hypnosis, I was able to actually go to that trance state that I think you get to in meditation if you learn to meditate correctly. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we meditate, that's what we're going for. We're going for that trance state. Okay. And that trance state is where we lose time. That's how I explain it to people. You lose time. Okay. You're meditating, but you're not here. You're not there. You're not anywhere. You're just everywhere or nowhere all at the same time. And time doesn't exist anymore. And so you have no idea how long you were gone. Everybody understand that?
Mm-hmm.
That's not just meditation, that is also trance. Okay? And a lot of people do trance without meditating. only a lot of them call it astral travel and things along that line. Okay. I find trance states to be specific levels of consciousness that I can explore, that I can learn about, that I don't, for some reason, I don't get hooked into any of this stuff as an end all be all do all. I just don't. Okay. This is good and this works, and that's, an understanding, learning, studying. Okay, the teachings of the Theosophical Society that I continue to study, the hermetic, the true hermetic teachings, not the ones that got messed up with the Christians. Okay, all those teachings are and the Vedas are the purest teachings I've ever found. Okay. But I also have the ability to absorb what I see and bring it into my understanding. And I don't think a lot of people have that. I think people read and they're hoping to absorb something into their logical mind, and then they're trying to decipher that and find where that fits in their understanding. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of I don't work that way. Okay. And from the 8th grade, I could not absorb what people were teaching me anymore. Okay, but I could read stuff and understand and receive major information, but not through traditional left brain academic learning. Okay. Okay. And make no mistake, I read books from the time I was young, and most of them were like fantasy books and War of the World, this kind of stuff. Heinlein, oh, I loved Heinlein, and he had these big books, and then so did who was the guy that wrote about history? I used to travel with him, Michener.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And it was like, somebody would look and go, "You're reading that book," because the Michener books were not small books.
Right.
Okay. But what I loved about him was I could go into the reading of it, and I could get into the story, and I was going along with the story. He was taking me around the world. Okay. I saw things that I never would have saw if I hadn't read them Michener books. Okay. He definitely was a great historian. And of course, I read Siddhartha, and I read The Prophet and all that stuff way back when too. And Heinlein, and who was the other guy? I can't think of his name, but it all kind of went together at that time. And a bunch of us were reading those books. Okay. Oh, I know, Carlos Castaneda.
Yeah.
Didn't everybody read Carlos Castaneda?
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't read Carlos Castaneda, they need to read Carlos Castaneda, okay?
Yeah.
Because his writings gave life to the truth of things that you're not going to find anyplace else. Okay? And him and his group, they actually walked out of this world, just like the Mayan people, just like many other cultures that just left. That nobody has any information on where they went, how they got there, or why they left. And those kind of mysteries just seem like they're glossed over, like, oh, well, that's what happened. And I'm like, excuse me. don't know how to do that, okay? And I know how to do a lot of things.
Mhm.
And so cultures, whole cultures who left their 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 places of worship behind, their places of living behind. Okay, their whole making of pottery and all, they left it all, they walked right out of the world. Have you not heard of these people before?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. What does that say to you?
Yeah, like Mesa Verde, they just abandoned that. They say maybe it was because of drought or, yeah, they were there for several centuries and then they abandoned the whole thing.
And they're
So,
digging up these cities deep in the earth that they didn't know were there. And the same thing happened.
right,
And they've got
right.
that thing over there. I guess it's in Thailand. That's right. That
Mm-hmm.
whole cathedral that is hand carved, that doesn't have a nail or anything like that in it.
Mm-hmm.
How did these things come about? I mean, don't you ever think about those kind of things? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I spend a lot of time thinking about those kind of things, okay?
Advanced civilizations who,
Well, it's
use.
like the beauty that they brought, the things that they left, the it's like it's massive. It's not like they were Neanderthals that just, died off or something.
Right, right, yeah.
Don't you ever wonder? See, those kind of things make me wonder. And when I wonder, then I understand that there has to be doorways between these various planes of existence that you can go through if you know how. So when I wonder, then I have to study, then I have to find out because I can't just wonder. It's not like I can just say, "Oh, well, that happened." I don't do well with that, okay? Only a whole
Mhm.
civilization just disappeared, and I'm just supposed to say, "Oh, wow." I just
Mhm.
I'm not like that, okay? I'm like, wow, where'd they go? And who were they and why were they here to begin with? Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I am a student of mysticism. I want to know about the mysteries. The mysteries are what interests me in life. Okay. That's all I live for. Okay. If I didn't have that to study, I, I would go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I would be bored. I would be, and I look at life and I go, and I've already been through the boring part. And the boring part was, waiting for something to happen. Was the uneducated years, the you haven't learned yet years. Okay. But back then, we didn't have computers, we didn't have cell phones. I didn't even have a phone in the house. I had to go down to the end of the street to use the payphone.
Mhm.
And that was normal.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. That was normal. That wasn't like, out of the blue or out of the way or something. It was like I didn't have the money. I couldn't afford a phone or any of that crap. So how much traveling do you think I did in those years? A lot. Okay. Because I was with myself. because I didn't have a whole bunch of distractions, because I didn't have other things to pull me off of thinking and wondering. Because wondering is magical. If you can't wonder, there's no magic anymore. You understand that? And if there's no magic, I'm like, what the hell do I want to be here for? So I want to go back to frequency. I want to go back to initiation and frequency. Somebody tell me how those two things go together.
You have to reach the right vibration to go beyond.
What is initiation about? What do we have it for? Why is it important?
So you can learn things to get you farther along.
It's a karmic thing. Okay? It's a methodology. It's the way that we were designed, or we came in, and the lessons that we had to go through to grow. And if we didn't go through these initiations, we wouldn't have grown. How many of you know parents or older people that you just look at and go, what the hell happened to you? You know, did you ever grow at all? You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it something that concerns you in any way, shape, or form? And they're like, well, what do you mean? My clothes? Have I outgrown my what? You know, and you're like, never mind. Sorry I brought it up. So we're going through initiations right now, massive initiations. Okay. Because Mother Earth has just raised her consciousness. Okay. To what degree and to what level, I couldn't tell you. But I know this, like I told you, I went in there and I saw her and I said, I'm with you, lady. Okay. I'm with you. Because I'm not interested in all these aliens and all this stuff coming in from the outside. I'm interested in being here. Okay. Because I've traveled a whole bunch of them planets out there. Ain't nothing as pretty as this planet. Not even. They just don't have life at other places like we have. They just don't. And that's why they live in ships. And that's why they've gone through what they've gone through, because they didn't have. And that's why they're here. And that's part of why they're jealous of us. But that doesn't mean, you know, that we should take any of it for granted. Okay. Mother Earth, she's it. And I suggest everybody do that meditation if you haven't done it yet, and go and see her and let her know I'm with you. Okay? Okay? I don't need all that other stuff out there. I don't need to go explore things that I have no knowledge of right now. Unless you want to take me there. If you want to take me there, I'll go. But you know, Mother Earth takes you places like to see the fairies. She takes you places to see the gnomes. She takes you places to see, you know, the beauty of inner Earth. I've never seen her take me out to see any aliens. I mean, I met aliens a long time ago, but Mother Earth never took me there. So I want to raise my vibrations. Okay, way back when, when I started figuring out that I wanted to raise my vibrations, I started collecting crystals. Okay. I got a couple of them out here today. These are some of my babies right here. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Where's yours, Deb?
These are some of my
They're over
babies.
there on the table.
Okay. I don't know where I got these or how long I've had these, but I used to take them to the fairs with me and put them in the corners and charge them up so they could put a thing of light around me. Even when I first started meditating, I remember I got crystals and I put them in a circle around me before I would sit down to meditate. And I would say, this is going to be my circle of light. This is going to hold my circle around me. And I don't know how I knew to do that. There wasn't any books. Nobody told me to do that. Okay? I just figured it out because I wondered. Because I didn't wonder about how I'm going to pay the bills or, I didn't wonder about any of that because I never had any money. So what difference was it going to make? If it was about money, I'd have never made it because I just didn't have any. But I did have a kid and I did take care of her and I did, keep a roof over her and fed her and shit like that. Oh, yeah. Then my daughter, she gave me this one. Look at this. Look at this wand here. Okay. This has a tree of life with wings on the side. Okay. It's got the two colors, the black and the green, the dark and the light. Okay. It's got a sun on this side. I don't know if you can see it or not. Okay. And so, I surround myself with these things. These are my babies because they vibrate, because they have frequencies, and because they align somewhere. And the thing I like about crystals is they do not align all in the same place, in the same ways at all. Okay?
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to raise my vibrations. I'm going to vibrate as high as these crystals do. And I did that. I meditated for I don't know how long, a long, long time to get to that frequency of being able to vibrate as high as they did. Okay? Do you guys think that kind of stuff? Do you wonder and do that kind of stuff? What is it?
Yeah.
Well, I have crystals all over the house, here and there. I've got them kitchen table where I sit, and I have them, all here and there. I don't think about them a lot, but I am happy I have them. And then every morning I do hold these two to do my meditation. And I also
So they're a part of your life. They become a part of your life.
Yeah, and I wear
Yeah.
crystals as well. So
Yeah. I mean, and Deb, I'm sure it's been that way for you too.
yeah, Deb has them all over
So
too.
Dee, we got to get you going.
Yeah, I've got some, and I got some by my bed where I sleep at night, and then I've got some singing bowls, and I tap on those a lot.
All right.
Feel the energies, the different vibrations
Frequencies.
of the singing bowls.
Yeah,
The
I like.
frequency, the vibration. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay, the vibration and the frequency. Okay,
Mhm.
and this is how I learned to understand my own frequency, my own vibration. Because these are mirrors, these are reflectors. Okay, these hold different energies. I mean, this one looks like it has a city inside of it or something.
Mhm.
Okay, some of them I say they have windows in them. Some have cities in them.
Some have rainbows.
Yeah, and they're just amazing,
Mhm.
you know. And then too, if you play with crystals and you get to learn about crystals, then you start to understand that the places they come from bring different energies with them as well. Like the difference between Arkansas crystals or crystals that are from some other part of the world.
Mhm.
And then the colors have their own vibration. Okay, so you can feel if it's got a lower vibration or kind of a medium vibration, or like I can't wear a lot of stuff around my neck. What are those ones called from diamonds? There's some kind of diamonds, herkimers. I cannot wear herkimers around my neck. Okay, they would just take me completely out of this world. I just would not be here anymore. And then there's the Lemurian. I had a wand one time, Atlantean wand, that I picked up from a friend of mine when I was down, like, I don't know if I was in North Carolina or where the hell I was. But one of my clients, we were working on some inner stuff, and so I let her hold them, and she threw it at the wall and broke it.
Wow.
And I was so upset because I mean it's not like you're going to come across an Atlantean, wand
Wow.
by looking for it.
Gosh. Mhm.
That's a really old energy. Okay,
Mhm.
so they're fun because they have stories that they can tell you. And I've gotten so good that like my daughter gave me a statue in the bedroom and I asked it its name and it gave it to me. It was some sort of Egyptian name. But and I've always believed that my furniture was alive. Okay, that it had feelings and all that stuff. I never understood when somebody said, why don't you just get rid of that? I'm like, what?
Mhm.
That has been with me, and we have this connection, and I just can't throw it out. Okay. I know when I went to Atlanta, the trees were alive. The trees were so alive down there. And I will never forget the energy of those trees down there. And I was like, I never knew that energies could come out of trees like they did in Atlanta.
Mhm.
Okay. And so where these things are located too, and what they vibrate at. And Deb, you're getting ready to go on a trip. You better pay attention.
Yes, yeah, I'm going to definitely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to go to the Garden of the Gods, and I could talk to the wind, and I could talk to the streams, and I could talk to the earth. And you guys can do all that too. You just got to make a concerted effort. Okay?
Mhm.
What does this feel like? What's that vibration feel like? If I touch this, does it change the vibration of that? That's called healing. Okay? I'm a healer. All of you are healers. Okay? Everybody in this group are healers. I mean, Dee will tell you in a minute, she can't feel things and sense things, but you get in that room with her, she knows exactly what's going on with your body.
Mhm.
Okay? Because to her, that's natural. To her, that feels okay to know that. But the rest of us, I couldn't tell you that stuff in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
And so we have to use our power. Okay? We have to be empowered and we have to use our power. We have to decide it's okay. It's okay. If somebody needs help, spirit can send them to me. Okay?
Yeah.
If the earth needs healing, let it call to me. Let me go to that place. Let me light some incense, or let me say a prayer there, or let me hug that particular tree. You know what I mean? And if I can't leave, I'm strapped to this house from now on. But Bill has set up a oasis out back for me, where he feeds the birds and the squirrels and everybody has water and even the bunnies come sometimes and they just look at him like, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here. And
Mhm.
all the rest of them are here. Why not?
Mhm.
He goes, well, I don't know. The bunny just comes and looks at me. And I go, well, I think it just wants to be part of the crowd. I think that's what's going on there.
Mhm.
And then I don't know if any of you have noticed, but the seagulls are all across here all the time now.
Mhm.
That is not a good thing.
I've
We are,
noticed in
we
the
are not
past.
close to the sea.
Well, but you know what? They hang out at 11 Mile at times and Pueblo Reservoir because I've noticed them in the past years flying over probably this
Yeah,
time of
they're here because this is a safe place.
yeah, yeah. But
And
we've
where
seen,
they've been isn't safe anymore.
yeah, because like when people catch fish up at 11 Mile and they throw the guts out, the seagulls are just coming down
Yeah,
and eating them. So I don't
yeah.
know. Anyway.
But I'm saying seagulls should be by the sea.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
They've left the sea.
Right. You say they're not
It's
safe there.
dangerous at the sea.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
We got a whole bunch of geese too, boy, everywhere.
Well, then we have always had the geese and the ducks and the
I don't remember.
swans. We used to have more swans and stuff, but I don't know. What did I see the other day? I don't know. The birds all come and talk to me now. Especially I have a couple of black ones that go on the thing outside, and if I'm not there when they come back later to say hello.
Mhm.
Then we got all the little birds outside. I mean, it's just a plethora of happiness out there.
Yeah.
And the squirrels, Bill's just gonna make them so fat they don't know what to do. And it's just fattening them squirrels up like nobody's business. So there are things to learn about these crystals. Okay, this crystal here has these lines across here. I know you can't see them, but it has these lines across here. And these are a different kind of record keeper. Okay? And some crystals have little pyramids on the face of them. And those are also record keepers. Okay? And what that means is that you can have this rock and you can hold it in your hand and it has records in it and you can receive them from the rock. Okay? Okay, questions? Anybody questions?
I was just going to mention, I don't know if it's at Samuel B, but somewhere I heard that there are these gigantic healing crystals in the middle of the earth, and that one day, before too long, we will be able to access those for healing. So sometimes in my meditation, I will try to send my light roots down into the earth to those crystals for healing.
Those crystals are part of the crystal grid system of
Okay.
the earth. And those crystals go all around the whole earth. Okay, in different places. And they create this grid. Okay. And that grid holds energy. And that energy gives life to this planet in a certain way. But it also communicates to those outside of this planet. See, there's so much going on, and so many levels that I can't tell you, because I don't need anybody to get scared or think I'm crazy or anything like that. But I have known this like forever. Okay. And now they're finding crystal caves of colors. All right. Before they were just the clear crystals, and now they're finding the caves of colors. All right. So it's not that these things haven't been here. It's just more a thing of where nobody had discovered them. It was all talked about by psychic people and people seeing things, you know, that couldn't be proven. And all the proof is coming out now, all of it. Okay. And so, yes, I understand what you're saying. And I'm going to say, you don't have to go to them. They will come to you.
Okay.
All you have to do is say, I know you're there. Okay. And I want to get to know you.
Okay.
That's all you have to say.
Okay.
Okay. And they will answer. And it's not any different for the angels and your guides and anything. That's all you have to say to them too. Okay. I know you're there and I'm ready to meet you. I'm ready to talk to you. That's all you have to do. It used to be a lot harder. But if worse come to worse, you all have my anchoring of light thing that you can use to you know, prove to yourself that these are good guys. But with all the energies that are going on right now and all the stuff that's happening right now, there is no being able to identify anything in terms of what's good and what's bad and what's other than your own heart. That flame within your heart, that understanding that I am God. Okay? If you do not understand that you are God, then it is not good to go out to these other places, because it's like watching a sci-fi movie and all the ships are coming in from all these different planetary systems. And that doesn't mean they all like each other. I want you to know that right now. Okay, there's some big doggies out there, but those other people came in too. I'm going to call them the disruptors. Okay, and the disruptors have been here all along. You know, that's a name they've given Trump, the disruptor.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
That's his job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he serves it very well.
He does real good.
Okay, he does. It's like if there's some place to step in the shit, that man will find it. And then he'll wipe it off and tell you how it never happened, you know? All they care about is the power, the control, and the money. That's all they care about. And it's too bad. But it's been that way for a very, very long period of time. So anybody trying to say, well, this is going to change overnight is out of their mind. At the age of all of us, I don't think we'll be around to see, you know, the stuff that we're hoping to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I was taught a long time ago, you just hold the light, okay? You hold that fork, you hold that pole, you hold it. That's yours. Do it. Okay? And so it's never been like a glamorous job. Like, again? For me, it's more like that, okay? How long are we going to have to do this? How many lifetimes? But, I mean, we have lots of beauty here. We have lots of things to be grateful for. So I'm going to keep evolving. I'm going to keep growing. And even though Bill thinks I'm crazy, when I leave this world, I'm going to go to the schools of higher learning in the other planes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my intention, and that's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't advocate it as the correct way or the best way or anything like that. That's my path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's why I teach the way I do. That's why I teach you to find your path, to do what comes naturally to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To discover what you can, because that's evolution, that's growing, that's becoming. And that's the only thing to me worth living for. Okay, I'm going to call it a class. I'm not going to do a within or nothing. You guys be good and go do your own within. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
And I always say, you know, music doesn't hurt. If you want to just play some ambient music in the background, that's fine. Okay?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay. We'll see y'all later.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.